Open up a tab, grab a seat, and pour a pint. It's time for the Beer Guys Radio Show.
You want free beer? Go to the brewery.
Dedicated to the art, science, and enjoyment of craft beer.
Lady and gentlemen, the beer room.
Now, here are your hosts, Tim Dennis and Aaron Williams.
And welcome to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We are radio for the local craft beer movement, broadcasting from lovely Snellville, Georgia, at TinyPalooza at the Lincoln Fill Station. I'm Aaron Williams.
Did you say Brewment?
Brewment? Why not?
The craft beer Brewment?
The craft beer Brewment, man. It's groovy, it's groovy.
Yes.
Oh, it's good like that. It's good.
I'm Tim Dennis. As Aaron mentioned, we're at TinyPalooza here at the Lincoln Fill Station. They've become quite a destination for craft beer in the area with a huge selection, including bottles and draft, as well as cigars. And since we're outside, we're getting to enjoy some cigars.
We are.
Today.
It's a rarity. It's great.
They got a large covered patio where you can enjoy both. So we'll also talk with Matthew Casey and Morgan Wireman of Akademia Brewing, and they're currently building out their brew pub over in Athens, Georgia.
Definitely. And they're sitting next to us, too, also enjoying a fine cigar and a couple of beers. So,
some beers and cigars.
Gents, thanks for joining us today. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you guys in a little bit. But, it's been kind of a crazy month. Crazy week, really, in the Beer Guys, because we've been everywhere and just doing lots of things. Road tripping, all that stuff. What did you do this week?
I actually, since our last taping, I took it a little light.
Good for you.
So I had a Jude from Reformation, and I had some more Wookiee Down. I'm really
that's a good
enjoying
one.
that.
That really is a nice
I've
one.
Been drinking a lot of that one, but that's about it for me. How about you, Eric?
You know what? It's funny. I have a very rare date night with my wife this week, and it's, again, like I said, it's a rarity with 3 kids. 2 jobs, basically. It's something I never get to do. But we're able to head down to Urban Tree down in downtown Atlanta and check out their first anniversary party. My wife isn't a huge beer person, but she does like some cider, so that was fun. Had some cider and cider cocktails and talked to those guys. Had a good time.
How were those cider cocktails?
They were delicious. They're really fantastic.
I knew they were talking about it. I was curious about that.
And it was interesting because what they've really done is they've taken everything local Georgia. So it's all American Spirit whiskey, independent distilling, everything that's locally made with their alcohol, with their cider, and then all of their botanicals and all the things they mix with them are all Georgia as well.
All about Georgia.
Yeah, the only thing that's not Georgia made was the tequila cocktail, because we don't grow agave here in Georgia. Yes, right? But you know what? It's a great little space. Congratulations on the first year. They were one of our first guests here on the show last year, and had a good time with them. Also got to go to Cowfish, brand new spot up on Perimeter Mall. It's actually a burger and sushi place.
Burgers and sushi.
Yes, and they actually will make sushi burgers. Like, they'll put sushi and then they'll kind of have like wonton wrapping to make it the top for a burger, and they'll also make burger stuff into sushi. So it was a very interesting concept. But
we had sushi corn dogs.
That's true. Good, we did have that. So, but yeah, it's a really interesting concept. They did a really nice job, and shout out to those guys. It was a lot of fun. Good beer list too. So go check them out. So definitely.
Yeah, they just had a beer dinner there recently, didn't they?
Yeah, with Scofflaw. Yeah, and they tapped that, unfortunately, but I didn't get any Scofflaw there. But they've done a nice job, and it looks like they want to expanding their beer list too. So good for them. It's a good another location.
Very cool.
At the perimeter
always
area.
Good to have another location.
That is always good, exactly. What's good is Truck and Tap's Beers of the Week.
Crack open a cold one. It's the Truck and Tap Beer of the Week. Craft beer and food trucks in downtown Woodstock. Truckandtap.com.
We've got a good selection this week, Aaron.
We've
got everything here at TinyPalooza, but we've also just enjoyed some from Akademia. Guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you have here today?
Today we've got a juicy IPA, New England style. It's about a 5.6% New England style hazy juicy IPA on the grapefruit side, a little tart. We also have a chocolate oatmeal porter, milk porter. So that one's K is for cookie, and our IPA is named Aphrodite.
Aphrodite, very good.
Nice.
Won the case for cookie on Nitro today as well.
Yeah.
Very awesome. Now, you guys, I think I remember one of the first beers you launched, Noctua. Is that right? Is that one still around? Or you have that here?
Noctua is the name of the owl, the logo we have. So it's Athenian Noctua is the species name, and so it's a night owl. It's a big dark imperial stout, and we're brewing it in collaboration with Southern Brewing Company.
Very cool.
The logo you guys have, it always reminds me of that mechanical owl on Clash of the Titans from back in like the 80s. Remember that? It looks just like that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Anyway, we'll talk to those guys in just a second, but first let's check out our headlines.
What's in the news? The Beer Guys have the scoop.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Time for headlines. Sponsored by Your Pie Perimeter in the Perimeter Place Shopping Center across from Perimeter Mall.
And there's been some big news
Big
news.
So we broke it last week.
Yep.
But SB 85 has passed the Senate. So
It's
we're
actually-
waiting for Governor Dill's signature. Everybody's happy. There's been celebrations. We already got a new brewery announced because of the passage with Wild Heaven building a second facility there on the Beltline. They said it's going to be a food and beer destination.
Definitely.
So stepping into new territory with that. So we're waiting for Governor Dill to get the signature. Then the DOR will have to write the regulations. Some people are still being cautious.
Of course.
To see how the regulations come out. But once that's all done, September 1st, we'll be good to go.
Amazingly enough, coming up in just about 5-6 months, we'll be able to actually go to a brewery and say, hey, give me a pint of that. And they can give it to us.
And they can do it.
Without giving us a tour.
Let me get a case of that to go.
Exactly.
You can do that as well.
That's, you know what? It's 2017. It's about time,
Progress.
Georgia. We were the last state to have that happen, but at least we're having it happen. So
we like to make jokes on this, but it really is from where we came from a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
With the differences between the distributors and the brewers and that, to come to where it's not ideal for either side.
No.
If I know the distributors, and naturally they want to protect their business interests if they understand where the breweries are coming from. And it's good that within, a few years' time they're able to work together to come to at least some reasonable resolution.
Yeah, it's not necessarily what the brewers wanted, not necessarily what the distributors wanted, but it's a happy medium. That's what negotiation is supposed to be.
Right.
So congratulations to, again, both sides for getting this done for the consumers of beer here in Georgia, and really for small businesses around Georgia too. It's a really nice move. So congratulations, and of course we'll keep you up to date on what's going on throughout the months before we actually get implementation. I'm sure we'll have a big party in September to celebrate it. Sounds like a plan. Like you just mentioned, though, Wild Heaven, just on the heels of that announcement, they announced that they're going to open that second facility. It's going to be on the Beltline, and it's going to be right next to where Monday night's new facility, the garage, is opening too. So right there, I believe it's on the southwest side of town.
They call it where the West Side Beltline.
Yeah, West Side Beltline area. It's going to be, of course, Monday night's garage is a barrel-aged sour facility, and then Wild Heaven again announced their facility where it's going to be a beer, food type of extravaganza. So
Southern aged cheese is coming in there. There's going to be gelato.
That's right. There's
a
a pickle place. Yes.
So
But
I did get some bad news.
Oh no! Don't tell me.
There was right there near Monday night. There was a place that sold 5 dozen socks for $9.99.
Yes,
I've heard they've closed down.
Well, there's a business opportunity for somebody, I guess.
Right.
So I will have
6 dozen socks.
6 dozen for socks. That's a bargain at any price.
The Beltline's growing, right?
That's right. That's right. So we'll have to get extra large underwear store or something like that.
I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, story of my life. Exactly. So another grand opening too. A Printer's Ale manufacturing. They're going to open on April 29th. So another brewery coming to the area. That's always good news too. So
absolutely, yeah, it's good stuff.
And another one over in Alabama too, Yellowhammer Brewing. They're planning a $1.2 million expansion, and that's going to include a new production space, event hall, beer garden, and a small-scale distillery at the brewery's campus. And that's right there. If you haven't been to Huntsville, it's on Campus 805, which is kind of a central brewery location where salty nut, straight to ale. There's really a nice little market of 4 or 5 breweries in that region at Campus 805, and they're doing a really nice job with that.
Last time I was over there, they were just really getting it started. With that, so they were just getting set up. Yellowhammer was their basic location, but a very cool little brewery district there.
Definitely, that's very cool. So excellent. Congratulations to Huntsville, and congratulations to Georgia on the passage of SB 85. And hey, congrats to us. We're drinking beer. We've had some really good ones so far. We kind of took a little bit of late start on the show because we wanted to tap some of the things.
We were drinking beer. That's
exactly.
Why. I had a Belgian Strong Golden Ale from Omaha Brewing. We had a nice barrel-aged American barley wine.
That was fantastic.
From Dry County Brewing.
Yeah, Dry County said they only aged that for about 5 days in the barrel.
It's quick in the barrel out. And got more in there to soak it up some more, though.
Exactly. Once it does that, it's going to be really nice. But right now, it's got a nice hoppy flavor to it. It's not like a traditional cloyingly sweet barley wine that you'd usually expect, but it's got a really good flavor to it, really nice balance. Lots of great beers out here. I had a barrel-aged French Toast Stout from a Wicked Weed. They just had that on tap, which I've been waiting to get my mouth on, hands on, something like that. Both of the exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool things going on. Like I said, we're here at Lincoln Fill Station in Snellville, Georgia, and we're the Beer Guys Radio Show. We'll be back in just a few minutes. BeerGuysRadio.com, and we'll be back. Talk to you later.
Hi, this is Jason Pellet, brewmaster at Orpheus Brewing. You're listening to Beer Guys Radio. Eat it, Scott. You couldn't do that.
The Beer Guys are back right after this.
Morgan and Lisa with Your Pie Perimeter here. We'd like to invite you to our store for a beer.
Is there anything better than pizza?
Yep. brick oven pizza that's made fresh and paired with a cold craft beer.
That's what you get at Your Pie Perimeter, located in the Perimeter Place Shopping Center by Perimeter Mall.
It's the perfect place to relax on the patio with a pint after work or bring the family in.
Follow Your Pie Perimeter on Facebook for all our beer events and specials, including beer tastings that you won't find anywhere else.
That's Your Pie Perimeter, located in Perimeter Place Shopping Center next to Chipotle. Tell them that the Beer Guy sent you.
Hey, this is Aaron. I want to thank you so much for listening to the Beer Guys radio show. We've got some really awesome things that are coming soon that will help us engage with you some more. We're not going to lie to you, though. It takes time, effort, and money to produce the show every week. So if you'd like to be part of the Beer Guys family, we would love your help. Head to patreon.com/beerguys to become a sponsor. We're not going to beg. Okay, maybe just a little bit. But hey, we've got some great swag for those who become a sponsor, and you'll be among the first to know about the great things that are coming to the Beer Guys universe. Again, that's patreon.com, patreon.com/beerguys, or you can go to beerguysradio.com and click the sponsor link. We thank you for your support, and cheers.
Have you ever thought about owning your own brewery, but don't know what it takes to get one built? We're CRL Contracting, and we build breweries. We are the most experienced contractors in the state of Georgia when it comes to building new breweries and tap rooms, or expanding current breweries. If you've been to Orpheus, Second Self, or Scofflaw, then you know what kind of work we can do. Just give us a call at 678-546-3382 or visit crlcontracting.com for more information. CRL Contracting. We build breweries. crlcontracting.com.
It's Aaron and Tim, the Beer Guys. If you're like us, no lunch or dinner is complete without a pint or two of craft beer.
Which is why Truck and Tap in downtown Woodstock is always on our list. Tim, why do they call it Truck and Tap?
Well, the tap part is easy. They have 12 of them. Bottles, too. Not sure what to drink? All of their beer servers are Cicerone certified. And if you got someone who isn't a beer fan, not to worry. Truck and Tap carries wine, mixed drinks, and even handcrafted sodas.
As for the truck part, well, that's when it gets interesting. Truck and Tap features your favorite Atlanta area food trucks daily. That way, you're getting a different menu every day.
Check it out, Truck and Tap in downtown Woodstock. Truckandtap.com. Let them know that the Beer Guy sent you.
Hey, it's Aaron from the Beer Guys radio show. We are talking about the Stout Brothers Smyrna Beer Market. If you're getting together with the crew this weekend to celebrate the springtime, let's skip the grocery store this time and head to the Stout Brothers Smyrna Beer Market to pick up a couple of growlers or crowlers of the craft beer you love. It is a great place to spend some time with the awesome things in life, specifically craft beer, barbecue, and fresh local meats and cheeses. The Stout Brothers Smyrna Beer Market makes hanging with the guys on the weekend easy. Make sure to grab some local beers from Scofflaw, Monday Night, Sweetwater, Arches, Orpheus, Southern, Wrecking Bar, Creature Comforts, and more. Of course, this weather means it is grilling season 2, so the Stout Brothers Smyrna Beer Market has you covered with all things Big Green Egg. They've got grills of all sizes and all the accessories. Seriously, they've got everything you need for a great barbecue, including those fresh local meats and cheeses. It's quite simple. If you like craft beer, you have to visit the Stout Brothers Smyrna Beer Market. It's in the Smyrna Market Village, thestoutbrothers.com, and we'll see you there.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
What in tarnation?
Now, back to the Beer Guys radio show.
And welcome back to the Beer Guys radio show. A little bit of a technical difficulty there. Just now, the wind took our stuff. I hate when that happens, but we are back now. BeerGuysRadio.com is our website, and today we're broadcasting from TinyPalooza at the Lincoln Fill Station in Snellville, Georgia. And we've got Matthew and Morgan from a brand new brewery in Athens, Georgia, brew pub, I should say, in Georgia, Akademia. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you. And Mother Nature decided to shine down and throw a little wind our way.
Definitely.
Right.
Maybe
sunny and windy today. So yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. So, well, guys, thanks again. We appreciate you joining us. We've already got to sample one of your beers here today. We'll get to some more soon. So, something we just like to kind of start off with here is, why don't you tell us a little bit about your craft beer stories, kind of how you got involved with craft beer?
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can. I'll start. And I'm Matt Casey, Akademia Brewing. I've been huge craft beer fan since Owen Ogletree put on the first Classic City Brew Fest 20-some-odd years ago.
You were there for the first one, huh?
I was at the first. I was in college,
yeah.
and I went to the first couple, and I was bartending in Athens at the time, and started tasting a little bit of Sammy Smith's Nut Brown Stout, and I started getting some flavors in my beer, and I started understanding a little bit there was more than the lagers, the daily
the pilsners,
monotony of the same lagers, you know. So I've been traveling. I graduated college, traveled around the world, but I've been a huge craft beer fan. And even old style, English style, German style beers. I traveled Europe quite a bit, and created a great love for the different styles of beer. And so basically, about 3 years ago, I walked into 5 Points Growler shop up in Athens, and met Morgan. I mentioned I was gonna think about opening a brewery. He was opening a brewery, so I was building a home brew system. He was building a home brew system. So we kind of hit it off and started brewing together about 3 years ago.
Very cool. Awesome.
Definitely. Now, you're right now building out on the west side of Athens. How's the construction going along for you guys?
We've got our permits. We've finished all the demolition just about. We're 99% demoed, and they're cutting concrete Monday. So we're
nice.
I think we're cutting out somewhere around 1,200, 1,300 square foot of concrete to pour floors and drains and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's tough, man.
I know. We can keep it. We can. It's fine. I'm getting good levels, so I'm still
alrighty.
Okay. So I know.
Morgan, you want to kind of tell us? Do you guys have like a brewing philosophy? Is there kind of a mantra you have when you go about your brewing?
I can't think.
Tough question.
Tough question.
Yes,
right?
Tough question.
Brew good beer.
Just make beer as best to the best of our abilities, and everything that we brew, we enjoy drinking. We want everyone else to enjoy our passion that we put into it. All the trial and error that we do, just everything.
Do you have certain styles that you prefer to brew, or do you kind of run the gamut?
We're going to try to be kind of all over the board. We're going to cover all of our bases, everything from English style, German style, sour beers, stouts, Kolsch styles, everything.
Very cool.
Now, is the beer market, of course, in Athens fairly sophisticated? I mean, you've got, of course, Cherupin, Creature Comforts, Southern, Catch-22, some great brew pub, gastropub type of places there. Do you find that it maybe it'd be a little bit easier to introduce people to some certain styles that may be a little bit harder in places that wouldn't be so used to craft beer?
I can see that, yeah. Like some names kind of draw people away because they have no idea what it is. Like Kolsch, for instance.
Yeah.
A lot of breweries are kind of going away from calling their beer Kolsch-style ale. They're just calling it something else, which... but it's such an easily approachable drink.
Of course, yeah.
Now, you guys mentioned, I know I saw some information that said brewery and culinary pub concept. So tell us about the culinary side.
Yeah, so we partnered up with a friend of ours, Josh Aaron, who owned the Savory Spoon up in Jefferson, Georgia, for the last 5 or 6 years. And he's got an amazing palate. He's an executive chef, classically trained, and he's been able to bring a very nice farm-to-table concept, beer pairings. Has done quite a few beer pairing dinners, and so he's going to lead up definitely our culinary side, but he's also adding a lot of value to our team as far as his palate and his love for sour beer and some of his ideas for some of the styles and flavors we're planning to bring to the table to pair with the foods he's got in mind.
Yeah, and that's something we've talked with a lot of brew pubs about too. With Twain's and with some other people like that. They say that they really want to pair food with beer. Is that something you guys really work with the brewer and the chef to kind of make sure that your food and beer really kind of pair well together?
For sure, that's our plan, and we're going to put a lot of the beer in the food and some of the food in the beer. Even some of the same ingredients for the dishes will go into the beer, and so we're planning to do some pretty creative, unique things there. Josh has a plethora of ideas that he's been throwing out there, so I think we're going to see some pretty exciting things coming down the road.
So I've got different answers asking brew pub owners this. Whether the food drives the beer or the beer drives the food. Is there one or the other at Akademia?
It's kind of funny because I use that as a little bit of a challenge to the guys, So yeah. I'm a little bit on a jack of all trade kind of person, more on the business side and getting the business plan. I've been working on a lot of that, but I've been brewing and I love food, obviously. So, but I always kind of challenge Josh, or Josh and Morgan, So if the beer starts taking over, we can always absorb some of the restaurant space for the brewery if we need to. So the facility we have is really gives us a lot of flexibility to grow the way we need to grow, and that's one thing we were looking for.
Now, originally you guys were supposed to be called Big Springs Brewing. So why did you guys make that change?
Well, the Big Springs Brewing, we did have a challenge. There is a company in Pennsylvania, I think it's a distillery, an alcohol company named Big Springs. Yeah, Big Springs Spirits. So we did run into a few confusing social media posts on that, and talking to the attorney, we could have pursued that, but I guess the the Big Springs was it was kind of the indigenous name for the area that Morgan started brewing. So that was the name he originally had, and we felt like we wanted to bring bring a concept that meant more to Athens that people would recognize, and Athens being known as the birthplace of American higher public education. We felt like Akademia and go with a little higher education / Greek mythology theme. Felt like it would kind of blend right in,
Did you have to street fight Jason Pellet from Orpheus to use mythology there?
I haven't really had that.
Not yet. Right?
We haven't squared up yet. I guess.
That's right.
And I mean,
there's probably room for both.
I feel like it. I mean, there's a lot going on there, and and we're gonna do some. We're gonna keep it. We want to keep it fun for sure, but we've got some ideas for some names of beers. Maybe a high IQ double IPA. Go with a little education theme and mix in some of the Greek mythology with the Noctua, the Hopperdite.
I missed my 8 a.m. class.
Yeah. Maybe we'll come out with a freshman 40 ounce.
There you go.
I
like that. There you go. That's a great idea.
I know that well. That's right from back.
Talking about names, though, we just had a discussion on the Reddit ATL beer forum lately. I don't remember the name of it. It was something like Shady Grove or something, and someone's like, oh, the old naming philosophy there. It's very hard to name beer these days. Breweries, really any business. We know from the radio show.
There's so many names out there. It's really
it's just become so easy to register, an LLC or corporation, get a domain name, and that it's tough to come up with something original and
it seems like everyone's taking up all the good puns and all the good good names, somewhere else. So the winds are really picking up here. It's a kind of a April, May, showery type of day. No showers yet, but I guess a lot of wind here in March. In March. Right? Stillville's a very windy town, I guess.
And like a lion.
That's right. That's how it goes. Yes. So now currently you guys are brewing at Southern. How did that come about?
So Brian Roth at Southern Brewing Company, Ethan Prost, and then the guys up there have been amazingly helpful, trying to help us from anywhere to getting our head around the laws, the challenges we have in opening the business plan. We're working on that. And he's opened his arms and brought us in and said, if you guys want to collaborate with us, we'll brew some beer, help you get your name out in the market. So it's been a really good working relationship at this point. And those guys have put some phenomenal beer up.
Definitely.
They're awesome guys there.
Yeah,
that Brian Roth, the whole team there, every time I've been there, it's been great. Brian and them came over, they were on the show. And just super friendly, and they want to collaborate. Yeah. They invite homebrewers in to brew with them. Doing stuff with guys like you. They're very open door there about what they were doing. I've mentioned this before, but I harvested some wild yeast at home. Yeah. And he told me, bring it over, we'll run it through the lab, we'll check it out, we'll isolate it. I'm like, this is just so cool that a brewery would offer to do this. So
he's definitely he's doing some things that are that are staying true to the art of crafting unique beverages, and we appreciate that, and we definitely we're trying to learn as much as we can from him because honestly he's kind of setting a little bit of a new, different tone in Athens. It feels like he can.
Yeah,
excellent.
Good stuff.
Very cool. Very cool. Matthew Morgan from Akademia. We're going to take a break right now. You listen to the Beer Guys radio show, and we'll be back right after this.
I'm Josh Rachel. I'm the co-owner and brewmaster at Jekyll Brewing, and you're listening to the Beer Guys radio show.
The Beer Guys are back right after this.
We are Reformation Brewery, celebrating the reformer in you. Locally crafted within the renowned Etowah watershed of Woodstock, Georgia, Reformation creates yeast-forward brews full of aroma and flavor crafted to last. Come see us in beautiful Woodstock, Georgia, for a tour and tasting of unique brews that you can't find anywhere else. Reformation Brewery, set beer free. ReformationBrewery.com.
If you're into craft beer, you need to check out Drink This Beer. It's a podcast from the creators of Beer Guys Radio. Tim Dennis and Aaron Williams talk to some of the best and most important brewers across the country and the world. So if you like to drink beer, pull up a chair and crack open the Drink This Beer podcast. Available on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Have you ever thought about owning your own brewery, but don't know what it takes to get one built? We're CRL Contracting, and we build breweries. We are the most experienced contractors in the state of Georgia when it comes to building new breweries and tap rooms, or expanding current breweries. If you've been to Orpheus, Second Self, or Scofflaw, then you know what kind of work we can do. Just give us a call at 678-546-3382 or visit crlcontracting.com for more information. CRL Contracting. We build breweries. crlcontracting.com.
Morgan and Lisa with Your Pie Perimeter here. We'd like to invite you to our store for a beer.
Is there anything better than pizza?
Yep. Brick oven pizza that's made fresh and paired with a cold craft beer.
That's what you get at Your Pie Perimeter, located in the Perimeter Place Shopping Center by Perimeter Mall.
It's the perfect place to relax on the patio with a pint after work or bring the family in.
Follow Your Pie Perimeter on Facebook for all our beer events and specials, including beer tastings that you won't find anywhere else.
That's Your Pie Perimeter, located in Perimeter Place Shopping Center next to Chipotle. Tell them that the beer guy sent you.
Ahoy there, mateys! Hunting whales? We've got you covered with Tim's Whale of the Week.
All right, Tim, we got some whales this week, don't we?
We got one.
We got one. One is good.
It's one that people look forward to all year, and it's coming up early next week.
Yep.
We will have Kentucky Breakfast Stout in Georgia. So Hop City's got a release set, so that's one a lot of people look for. Still line up for. So look out for the
KBS. One of those great barrel-aged beers that's been around for a while, and it's a good intro. A lot of folks have been introed the barrel-aged beers to the KBS.
Yeah.
Founders does a great job with that.
I want to give a little shout-out here to Oliva Cigars.
Yes.
To Kelly Enter. He's the rep in this area. He hooked us up with some really good cigars. I'm smoking a Master Blends 3 right now. So if you're a cigar folk, check them out. If you go to an Oliva event, look for Kelly and say hello.
Yeah, Olivia makes great cigars. Series V is one of my favorites.
Did you say Olivia?
Olivia.
Noob.
I'm such a great cigar smoker, as you can
Gosh.
probably tell. Yes. So anyway, I'm a beer drinker. We can drink beer.
There you go.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We got
we're here from Akademia. We've got the crew from Akademia with us
We
now.
do. We did a swap out.
We did a swap
on
out.
the
So
break
Matthew
there.
Casey's still with us. But we've got a brand new guy with us on the other microphone. So
Josh Aaron.
Yeah.
Josh, how you doing, man?
Great, man. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing
That's
great.
Yeah, so I'm told that you have an excellent palate. You can't be tricked, and you're taking care of the culinary program there. We talked a little bit about the culinary from Matthew's perspective, but could you tell us a little bit about your philosophy, attitude there?
Yeah, so after I've been in the business for 18 years, and so a lot of different training, and I've always focused on a lot of farm to table and local aspect, but kind of before it was cool, actually. I've been doing that like 8 years, and then the focus we're going now is mixing that, and it's exciting for me because it's going to be what we're calling a culinary pub grub. And so taking international flavors and molding them with local southern dishes and different things that I've focused on through the Savory Spoon for the last 5 years, and different things that I had done to kind of bring all that together. So, rotating curry bowls, rotating tapas menu,
Cool.
different things that people can come in, share, enjoy, drink beer over and talk about it. And actually, every day we're going to have something that's focused to be paired with a specific beer of ours on draft. So you'll be able to come in and not even have to make a decision, really. You can just
Ready to
you
go,
can just
huh?
look
I
at
like
the
that.
menu and say, hey, there's the beer and food pairing for the day. Is that what I want? And hopefully that's what people love.
Very
and,
cool.
And look at and say, hey, this is great. And the focus is going to be on the fresh quality ingredients of what the food provides, and then let my talents kind of shine on that side of it.
Very cool, man.
Yeah, you really couldn't be in a better place for that. Athens, of course, in a fairly rural area, lots of agriculture around too. You get a lot of ingredients to work with, I'm sure, there too.
Right, absolutely. And one of the things yesterday, I was in a meeting with the head manager at the Animal Science program with UGA. We're talking about making a beer brat with him. We're going to provide him with the beer that's going to be able to make a beer brat that he can not only sell to help out his system, but also something that we can have in-house at the times when it's made.
Very cool.
Take a little. The kitchen's not always about every single thing you make. It's about how quality that ingredients is made.
Sure.
So to focus on something local like that with a local hog, it's really awesome to have that kind of partnership already developing before we even get open.
I think I said very cool like 15 times.
You did, but listen,
that's because it's very cool.
It is very
right?
cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We actually had an article last week on the show that we talked about where there's a Chicago pub that just earned a Michelin star, a brew pub there.
Right.
And it just seems like that's the trend a lot of times. You've got really great food paired with really locally made beer, and that's really what people are going for, is that local sourced food and drink to go with what they do.
It's funny, things are so trendy, and it's cool, but I don't really see this as a trend that's going to stop, because in a healthy version of eating and quality ingredients, we're coming to a point where so many places and businesses are opening in beer and food side that really people are going to start seeking out what is considered top notch, and the people that focus on that kind of shine. So I feel like if you have dedication to your craft and do things, it's on the brew side and the food side. So I'm really excited to partner up with Morgan and Matt with the brewing and get things in there to where we can take the palate.
Right.
I don't drink beer to just drink beer and knock it back. I drink beer to find out what flavors are in it. And it's the same way when I sit down with a plate of food, is I eat to discover levels of flavor. And that's how I like to cook, is to take different ingredients that people might not know or use all the time, put them together, and kind of make them shine in that dish.
I think, like you mentioned, it not being a trend, I think it's more of a progression or evolution.
Yeah.
People are more into craft or boutique everything now. It goes for cigars, like we were talking about, beer, everything. People like local. They like healthy, organic, tasty, and that. So it's just a progression of a society maturing. That may not sound right for our society. It doesn't sound like it's maturing that much sometimes, but I think that's kind of what it is.
And it is important. If you look at a lot of things, people ask me all the time. I don't watch culinary shows on TV really, and they ask me about that, and I can't answer a lot of the questions because I'm like, I'm focused on creating, not really watching what someone else is creating. So it's kind of cool that if you take all those people and where they're at with that, and that's why I say it's not really, some of those things are trendy for television, but if you look at the true chefs throughout the country who are really digging in, they're ones who are coming up with ideas.
Yeah. Right.
And ideas that are, like you said, evolution. And if you can make a little bit of a mark, then, you've been successful in a career. It's not always about blow it out the top. It's about years of consistency.
Sure, absolutely.
So over 18 years, that's what I've tried to focus on with food is, for the past 10, I've tried to stay true to my craft, which is focus on the ingredient.
Yeah, and it's funny, we talked to a lot of brewers, and they have a similar philosophy, too. They always say, if you want to go see how good a brewer is, try their Pilsner, because there's nothing to hide. It's just basic ingredients. You have nothing that you can, barrel age or kind of cover up with a ton of hops. A Pilsner's a Pilsner, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. And I think it seems similar to the way when it comes to chefs, your ingredients are making your meal, and it's not necessarily all the stuff you put in it. It's just how you use your technique to make those ingredients come together and taste really delicious.
That's what got me excited about working with Morgan on the brewing side of things, is when I tasted the Kolsch. I was like, okay, I'm not a huge Kolsch fan, but just in general, because I would like a little bit bigger flavor. It's a traditional beer, it's awesome style. But I was like, wow, this is pretty fantastic for the base, And he's like, I've been working on this for 9 years, man, and that's dedication. So I mean, when it comes down to that, I was like, I can vibe with you, man. I can vibe with that kind of dedication, and I can take a plate of food and I can put it with your Kolsch, which I normally wouldn't pair with all the time.
Yeah.
And we're going to be able to pull some flavors out and do some cool things.
Yeah.
So.
I think for me, when it comes to pairing, air quotes, beer and food, I usually go for a beer that doesn't complicate things too much. I don't drink with my meal a lot because I don't want one to interfere with the other, and I like big beers a lot, but like Creature Comfort's Epicurious, I've mentioned a few times. That's a beer that I can drink on its own, but it also is great to pair with a meal. Pretty simple, light beer.
Beer,
something you can sit down and enjoy some good food with. So.
And I did a beer dinner out of Savory Spoon with Epicurious on that dinner.
Right.
And one of the things I'll tell you, you pay credit to where credit's due. We're definitely proud to be in an area where Creature and show those guys support, and Terrapin and all the other. We want to work with those breweries,
sure,
and
absolutely.
make things better. So I mean, when I did that dinner, it was amazing, the flavor of the combination of the two that brought it out. Like, you get that easy drinking table beer, and then all of a sudden you put it with the right food, and you're like, wow, man, this is it. This is what I was looking for. And those are moments that make you proud to change things, is when you're working as a chef, is being able to take, and vice versa, that the beer complements your food and the food complements your beer. And I think you said evolution earlier, and we said that word a couple times, but I think the evolution right now is that everybody used to expect that dinners were meant to be paired with wine.
Right.
That's no longer the key now. I've been driving beer dinners for the last 5 years as this is really awesome. There's a lot of ingredients that can do this, and I see that trend just continuing to move forward.
I saw a commercial on TV. It was a Goose Island commercial, but it was couples in a fine dining restaurant, and the guy that looks like the sommelier walks up with a bottle, 750 of their Matilda.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's showing you that craft is creating something, because if Goose Island is paying the money to put that commercial out, they want people to know to look for these beers to pair with these high-end meals like this.
Absolutely.
So, one thing I want to inject here is, like, I firmly believe that the right pairing could change anyone's perception of a beer, and the same with the food. Maybe
food,
you may not like a certain a certain type of protein or a certain type of dish, but with the right beer, it changes your perception of that, and it may open your mind up a little bit. And I think more so with the beer. You may have a beer that it's okay, but with the right food, you have a whole new experience with it.
Sure.
It may change your perception of it.
Well, you hear people that say I don't like beer, and it's not trying to force beer on anyone, but there's the saying, you just haven't tried the right beer,
Exactly.
and there's just such a huge variety to it. That's pretty much true.
I'll tell you an amazing, funny story real quick. We had dinner the other night with a couple of friends, and he's not a craft beer guy. He's a lager, traditional American lager guy. He says he likes the Creature Comforts Tropicalia, and he said he saw a red beer, and I think he was talking about the Paradiso. So he likes Bud Light and Paradiso.
All right, there you go.
He's opening up. Before you know
That's
it, can you get any more extreme?
That you too, huh, Aaron?
Definitely.
In
Bring
those beers like
in.
that. Yeah.
Stuff,
So,
yes.
Well, guys, we are talking here to Akademia Brewing out of Athens, Georgia, building their brew pub over there right now. You're listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show, beerguysradio.com. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
It's Aaron and Tim, the beer guys. If you're like us, no lunch or dinner is complete without a pint or two of craft beer.
Which is why Truck and Tap in downtown Woodstock is always on our list. Tim, why do they call it Truck and Tap?
Well, the tap part is easy. They have 12 of them. Bottles, too. Not sure what to drink? All of their beer servers are Cicerone certified. And if you got someone who isn't a beer fan, not to worry. Truck and Tap carries wine, mixed drinks, and even handcrafted sodas.
As for the truck part, well, that's when it gets interesting. Truck and Tap features your favorite Atlanta area food trucks daily. That way, you're getting a different menu every day.
Check it out, Truck and Tap in downtown Woodstock. Truckandtap.com. Let them know that the beer guy sent you.
Hey, it's Aaron, and you know what I hate? When I miss a favorite TV show and forget to DVR it. Don't let this tragic tale happen to you when it comes to Beer Guys Radio. Subscribe to us on demand. It is easy. If you've got iTunes, Stitcher, or any other iOS or Android podcast app, search for us, or go to beerguysradio.com, click listen, and you can copy and paste the RSS feed. While you're there, by the way, give us a review. It really helps. That's Beer Guys Radio on demand. Catch it today.
We are Reformation Brewery, celebrating the reformer in you. Locally crafted within the renowned Etowah watershed of Woodstock, Georgia, Reformation creates yeast-forward brews full of aroma and flavor crafted to last. Come see us in beautiful Woodstock, Georgia, for a tour and tasting of unique brews that you can't find anywhere else. Reformation Brewery, set beer free. ReformationBrewery.com.
Hey, it's Aaron from the Beer Guys Radio Show, talking about the Nest in Kennesaw. Do you smell that? Something is in the air, and it is the sweet, sweet smell of barbecue. The Nest in downtown Kennesaw is the destination for not only some amazing barbecue, but one of the best craft beer spots, OTP or ITP. If you're hungry for some barbecue, you need to be at the Nest. And by the way, happy birthday. Head to the Nest now for a special celebration with crawfish and whole smoked gators. Yes, I said gators, no April Fools here. Spring is officially here, so let's celebrate the season and the pollen with friends and family while sipping on a Georgia-made beer on their 2,000-square-foot patio. Try some brews from Creature Comforts, Dry County, Orpheus, Reformation, Scofflaw, Terrapin, and so much more. Awesome barbecue with 59 taps pouring the best craft beer in Georgia and the world. What else do you want? It's the Nest in historic downtown Kennesaw on Cherokee Street Northwest. Check out their current beer list and menu at thenestkennesaw.com, and we'll see you there.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man. Woo!
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
Hey, welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. BeerGuysRadio.com is our website. We are here in lovely Snellville, Georgia at TinyPalooza 2.5 at the Lincoln Fill Station. Wrapping things up with the guys from Akademia. Matthew, Casey, thanks for joining us for the show today. Appreciate it.
We really appreciate it. Thanks for the time, and thank you to Tiny for putting on such a great event, man. This has been great. A great day for such a great beer to go with it, for sure.
It's an awesome time. So what's your guys' timeline for targeting an opening? I know that's a moving scale as things go, but...
Yeah, the more I learn, the more moving it is, it feels like. But we're hoping we'd like to open by July to get out ahead of some of the students coming back to Athens, but it's looking more and more like August, maybe.
Okay.
We should be done with the build-out by second week of June. We're targeting and dialing in the system and waiting for the licensing after that, hopefully.
All right. We'll definitely come hang out with you guys when you get open over there.
I really appreciate it. Thank
awesome,
you.
Man.
You're
cool.
always welcome.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Matt. Thanks.
Yep, thank you.
All right, now we're Tiny McClannon is here, the eponymously named TinyPalooza here at the Lincoln Fill Station. So thanks for having us here.
Thank you guys for being here.
Tiny, you look busy today, man.
It's been an early day.
Busy
tomorrow.
day,
We were here at
so,
7
yeah.
this morning getting things ready. So it was early.
So this is TinyPalooza 2.5.
Correct.
What's the celebration all about today?
Well, our anniversary actually falls in the middle of July. And to do this in the middle of July, people would be melting in the parking lot.
Not a good idea.
So we kind of shortened it to make it so that we had better weather, and it was kind of close to my birthday. So we kind of combined the two. So last year was TinyPalooza 1.5.
Right.
And I turned 50. It's hard to believe.
Congratulations.
I know. It's
yes.
hard to believe.
Yes,
I know.
it is.
We're all old.
I
I
would
look
guess
25, I'm
27,
sure.
man.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean, thank
See,
you.
close, right?
So it just kind of it took off.
So
it
you
went
throw
well.
yourself a big birthday party is basically what it
Yes.
boils down to.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
There
It's
you
very
go.
egotistical.
Very good stuff.
Well, the cool thing about TinyPalooza and why we like to come these past 2 years, that not only have you got some great beers on tap from any of the local stuff, you've got some bottles popping back.
Yeah, that's been great. Yeah, so we've been lucky to being able to make some good friends with several different breweries from around the country, and they've donated beer for the event for the birthday. We've been very lucky.
Definitely.
It's awesome.
Definitely.
3 long pages of a beer list before the event and that. So.
And a lot of the beers are specific for this day. So one time and one time only, or brewery only type beers. So us being in the middle of Snellville, the closest brewery to us is Wild Heaven and Three Taverns. They're the closest ones. So we're right smack in a little donut hole away from everything. So we encourage everyone to go to the breweries.
Yes.
Or come here and try all of the breweries.
Yeah, and, if you think about that, of course, I'm a Lawrenceville resident too, so, we're kind of in this craft beer desert. But
yeah.
We're starting to get a little bit better.
100%.
Slow Pour is eventually coming into
Yeah,
Lawrenceville.
exactly right.
Sticks down in Champaign.
Yep.
We're starting to get a little bit more of craft beer
push. I agree. I totally agree.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. And and we encourage it big time. Everyone was worried when the law had passed whether it would hurt us if the breweries would sell. No, we encourage it big time, because if you want to go to Scofflaw, Sweetwater, Three Taverns to get their beer, wonderful. Or you can come here and get everybody's beer.
That's been what I'm saying, Tiny. I saw someone just yesterday said, I think this is going to hurt, some of the smaller growler bottle shops and that. My opinion, and again, mine's not, I don't own a brewery or a bar, but I talk to a lot of people that do. This is going to foster growth here.
100%. The more people who become craft beer drinkers,
right,
the better it is for everyone.
Absolutely.
Everyone. Yeah. Trickle down to restaurants, bars, you name it, it's all going to work out.
Yeah. And the one thing I've always said about this SB 85 and getting it bigger is that we're able to have a little bit more of a regional expansion. So a lot of these places that don't necessarily have a brewery will start to fill in. Places like Winder, McDonough, Loganville, places like that just will start to be able to have a better business model.
These cities aren't stupid. Yeah. So they realize what other cities are doing and how they're making money. They see cities like Suwannee have a big, huge beer festival. They see cities like Grayson have a big beer festival. Loganville just passed Sunday sales. Yep. I mean, they went until 2017 you couldn't buy a beer on a Sunday, which is crazy.
Yeah. Right.
Exactly. I mean, it's crazy. But the cities are realizing what other cities are doing and catching up with speed, which is great for Georgia beer.
Exactly.
Great for Georgia beer.
Definitely.
So with the laws, with local ordinance, brew pubs can sell package and that. So when's Lincoln Fill Station becoming a brew pub, man?
I don't know that. Yeah, maybe
I know you like to brew.
We do. We'd have to expand even more.
Need more, more than here.
Get a little bit larger.
Yeah. No, but speaking of you guys, you have become a destination here.
And that was our goal. We wanted to be a destination spot. We're close to 878. We're not too far off the road.
Yep.
But we knew we were going to be a destination spot. We're not going to be something you're going to walk to.
Right.
We're not in the middle of a residential area too much. And knowing that, we took all the aspects that would bring someone. Why would I want to come here and add that to the store?
Yeah, and it's great because you can have a couple of pints, you can get a growler to go, get a couple of cans to go.
Exactly
also,
right.
Just if it's a great day like today, sit outside, have a cigar.
Exactly right. We have a huge patio, and we're going to expand the patio. Actually, we're going to expand the patio to twice what it is now, all the way around the other side. We're going to have some fire pits and stuff like that, so make it a kind of a more of a year-round feel. We've got some other plans to do some other things, enclosing some areas, and the city of Snellville has been beyond helpful with us. So, and again, Snellville realizes what other cities have done, and we've been approached from several cities. When is Lincoln going to move to this city? When are you going to come there? Because they know kind of what we brought to the city.
Sure.
I don't know if that's ever going to.
Thoughts for that?
Maybe.
Is this one enough headache?
One is one with that or my other full-time job.
Right.
Yeah.
We all work different jobs. So
Right.
I was hoping one of those storage container pools would be out here for us today. Man.
Well, maybe next year. TinyPalooza 3.5. Yeah.
That's right.
So speaking of brewing, you do collaborations.
We have
quite a few of the breweries around here. So how'd those get started?
We just by befriending them. So we've talked to a good friend, Brian Roth from Southern. We've made several casts with him. We also did it where we could raise money for charity. So we did a raffle, and whoever won got to go to Southern with us, and they could make the beer. They picked the ingredients. Brian Roth kind of steered them in the right direction, say this is not a good idea, this is a good idea, and they made their own beer. We then poured it here, but we raised money for several different charities, and it's been a hit. The other one we've done a lot with was Cherry Street. We actually won.
Because they won Atlantic Cascale tasting.
We won, the first time ever. It was #1 and People's Choice. Nice. So Cherry Street was super happy. We were super happy. Triple Chocolate Chunk was a hit. Yeah. We saved a couple kegs of that, and we're going to bring that back out on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
We'll have our next big event, or we'll have a couple big events then, but that's our next big event.
One, right.
So it's just by talking to them and kind of coming up with ideas, and the breweries have always been super friendly with us. I mean, it's been very helpful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. Tanya McClanahan from Lincoln Fill Station, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are always welcome.
Good. I'm going to get your suggestions on what to drink here in just a few minutes.
Well, yeah, that'll take a couple minutes. That'll take a minute or two.
Yeah, exactly. Happy birthday and anniversary.
Thank you very much. Thank you, guys.
Cheers. Thank you.
Time for the hot list. The beer guys have the scoop on what's going on next week. Brought to you by CRL Contracting. We build breweries. CRLcontracting.com.
That's hot.
So Tim, we got a hot list to go on. What's the hot list?
Let me
let's flip the pages
some pages here.
Windblown pages.
All right, man. Georgia. Here's what we got going this week.
All
tomorrow, Torched Hop turns 1.
Nice. Okay.
So they're going to have their anniversary. A lot of anniversary parties today.
Yes.
So it's the anniversary weekend here in Georgia. So on Monday, as I mentioned earlier, is the KBS draft and bottle release at Hop City KSM.
Okay.
On Wednesday, we've got the team trivia at Your Pie Perimeter.
Yep.
Thursday is Cinco de Siberias that
yes.
everybody looks forward to.
At Wrecking Bar.
Also, Pint Night at Your Pie Perimeter, where they have a featured pint for only $3.14. And Saturday, an event that is relevant to my interest. It is Saison Day.
That's your favorite.
With Allagash and Blackberry Farm at the Porter Beer Bar.
Nice. That sounds good to me. So, in Alabama, we've got a few things going on. Sipsy's Strawberry Blonde Release Party. That's a Black Warrior Brewing Company in Tuscaloosa on Monday at 4 p.m. And, Tim, get out your whips and your fedora hats because Blue Pants is having their Indiana Jones Trivia Night on Monday as well at 7 p.m. Mill Creek, a new brewery from Tennessee, they're starting to distribute in Alabama. They're going to have their sampling parties at Liquor Express and Craft Beer Store, also at Old Town Beer Exchange as well in Huntsville. That's going to be on Thursday. Then on Friday, we've got a Blue Water Tap takeover also at OTBX, and that is also in Huntsville. That's a good week. For a full list of our events, check out our calendar at beerguysradio.com. And now it's a giveaway. What do we got?
My favorite part of the show.
It is. Mine too.
So one of them, drinking beer is a pretty good part.
That's right there too, yeah.
Our winner this week, Aaron, is Mike Mannion.
Congrats.
Mike, thank you so much for subscribing to This Week in Georgia Beer. Drop us an email to beerguys@beerguysradio.com, and we will get you a very cool swag pack out full of awesome Georgia, Alabama, and other places.
Yes, other places.
Beer stuff. Man.
I got some cool stuff in my office I need to give away. So,
Aaron, what should folks do if they want to sign up?
Just head to beerguysradio.com. Sign up for This Week in Georgia Beer. It's right there in the right-hand column or down below if you've got a mobile device. You get a weekly newsletter with all the happenings in Georgia Beer, and you'll also be entered to win our weekly swag pack. So next week, we're finally going to be in the studio. It seems like it's been a while.
We still have a studio?
I think we
thought
do.
we were nomads now.
I think we are, but no, we're actually going to be in the studio this weekend.
Cool.
Huntsville's Rocket Republic Brewing is going to be in the house, so that'll be fun. And we've also got our latest episode of Drink This Beer. And this podcast, we're going to be headed across the pond talking to our old friend Will Avery from Ireland's Galway Bay Brewing. So that's going to be up on Tuesday, so check it out wherever you get your podcast. Also check us out at beerguysradio.com and on the socials. And don't forget to drink local. That's what we're going to do right now, Tim.
We are.
Absolutely.
Plenty of it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We're on demand via iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Always online at beerguysradio.com. Aaron and Tim are back next week with more about the amazing world of craft beer. Cheers. The Beer Guys Radio Show on the Beer Guys Radio Network. BeerGuysRadio.com.